My sister Philia is so jealous of me. It doesn't seem to matter what I do, she wants to one-up me, just because she's my older sister. Well, I have news for her. Just because I announce my wedding doesn't mean she has to too. Well, I think somebody should go tell her that, because what she's about to do is absolutely going to ruin our relationship, and I am not going to let her do it.
Hey, my name's Antonia. I'm female and 22. I have an older sister by the name of Philia, and recently I've just agreed to marry my best friend. My parents are very happy for me, unlike Nana. My sister and I were both born in Hong Kong, and I was never happier with my big sister always having my back. Philia and I were best friends, and I was always bullied at school. She would rescue me from those bullies, and in return, I didn't tell our parents about the bullies at school. One day, I was walking out of class. A girl my age, she turned back and spilled water on me, and she did not bother to say sorry. Instead, she just laughed at me, and her friends featured her. I tried to stand up for myself, but I was too soft. The girl took a video and shared with the rest of the kids, so I ran to my sister's class to tell on the child. I had no idea that Philia was going through some boy problems, and I walked into her class crying. And when I opened my mouth before a word came out, she yelled at me. She asked me what I wanted. I told her that the kids from class were bullying me, and she called me a coward and chased me away, and I was left with no other choice but to tell my parents about it. And that was the end of our lovely relationship with Philia. I had no friends there, and it was hard for me to cope. The other kids called me a freak, and Mom and Dad asked me why I could not tell them about this earlier. I was left with no choice but to tell them that my sister asked me to keep it from them in return for protection. Mom and Dad were so angry and disappointed in Philia. It turned out that she only asked me not to tell our parents because they would move us to a new city. They had already done that to her once when we were younger. We moved to LA, and our relationship with my sister changed. I had no idea that she was afraid to be alone. She was scared of moving because it took her so much and so long for her to make friends. As much as I had no idea that she was scared of being alone, she did not understand that I was going through a lot at school because of other kids that were bullying me. Our whole family moved. That includes Nana and our aunties and uncles, and we started over. It was good for me. I could focus in class, and I had no fear of walking down the hallway thinking that kids will pick on me again. I was in a safe space, and I felt protected. My sister lost herself because she was trying to fit in with people from school. She didn't want to be alone, and because I would always tell Nana about my day at school with my friends, she wanted to do the same. So she changed herself completely, and she colored her hair and started using eyeshadow. Our parents were not happy with the person she turned into, so they yelled at her every day. Reports would come in from school that Philia was skipping classes, and it made Dad absolutely furious. That was when she became Nana's favorite grandchild. Nana always felt like my sister was being mistreated, but Mom and Dad were trying to raise her into a good woman. Although my sister and I squabbled about everything, we loved and still love each other. She does not show it anymore because she was being angry at me for telling Mom and Dad the truth about the kids that were bullying me at school. My sister graduated and went to college. Mom and Dad thought it would be a good idea that I moved into my sister's room because we had a distant cousin who needed accommodation. Grandma was furious and refused to let me stay in Philia's room. She said that Philia would not be happy if she came home and I was staying there. So, I shared a room with our cousin, and when I went to college I met Brian. It was love at first sight. And, honestly, I couldn't control myself every time he passed by me. After I graduated, which was last year, he asked me to be his girlfriend. It was one of the happiest days of my life. I found a job and I wanted to move out of the house and live with Brian, but Nana always said it's taboo, and in a few months she will not be able to stop me from going to live with him because we will be married by then. I'm so excited for my new life as Brian's wife, and I will be the best wife and one day be the best mother as well. I can't believe that life has actually started. I have a job at 22 and soon to be a wife. My sister still has no job, although she's never been indigent. Well, we don't really know what she does when she goes out, but she always comes back home with a lot of cash. I'm not trying to insinuate anything, I'm just worried about her. Not to sound like an a-hole, but I honestly don't think my sister would ever get married. She hates marriage, and she says that she loves her freedom as a single woman. How could she be single, jobless, yet so rich? Or maybe she's hiding her job from the whole family, who knows. But would Nana hide such a thing from Mom and Dad? There's nothing I can do, though. I'm currently working very hard at work as I want to be promoted soon. I can't have children with the salary that I get now because I want to spoil my little munchkins. I know I'm rushing things, but that's the only thing in my head. Anyways, I'll get back to you guys with some updates soon enough. Update number 1, 2.5 weeks later. I'm so mad right now. I don't think I can even stand my sister's presence right now. I've been in my room all morning. Enough with all the suspense, let me take you through what happened yesterday. Yesterday was my official engagement day, and I had told the family that Brian's family was coming to our house yesterday to discuss the wedding date, as my mother likes it when elders do the talking and decision-making. I was awoken early by my mother, because she wanted to know everything about Brian's food preference. Well, I was happy to see how everyone was busy preparing everything that would be heartwarming to Brian. That was a sign that my family likes him, and I will not have a problem going to live with him, as this will become his home too, and we will always be welcome here. I was in the kitchen trying hard to help Mom and my aunties out with cooking. But I was not allowed to touch anything in the kitchen, and they said to me, "Today is your day. If you want to do something, then get your sister and go do some shopping or go to the salon. You can even go for lunch. You look pale. You will need some makeup and a good pedicure." Even my mom was agreeing to get me a pedicure when she hates when people do their nails. Clearly, she only wants to get rid of me. After all, she had everything that she needed to know about Brian, and now that I am of no use to her, LOL, she tossed me in the hands of my sister, who never gets tired of shopping and partying. My sister did not really look happy. I would swear that she was annoyed at some point, and I was right, after what she did to me. When we first started with shopping, I must admit that it was really fun. We bought so many things that I don't even think I will wear because I'm soon to represent the coming together of two families. We later got to go to the spa for a massage. I felt closer to my sister than ever, and I haven't felt that way in quite some time. I was also lost in the moment that I didn't even doubt that everything my sister was doing was too good to be true. Anyways, we later went for pedicures, and then we went to get a few drinks. She was drinking like crazy, and I tried stopping her, but she was unstoppable. It was almost as if she was drinking to forget. But I could not cross the line to ask her what was going wrong, because she does not like me stepping around in her personal space, and all I said was, "Are you okay?" She looked a little bit lost for a second before she answered that she was perfectly fine and gave me a gaze to convince me. Later, we went home to get ready for Brian and his family, and it was just 5 minutes after we got home, and my in-laws were outside waiting to be guided inside. My heart skipped a beat from the thought of meeting my in-laws. I did not think that something like that needed a little bit of preparation. Well, I don't know. We all came together as the two families discussed and shared things about themselves. I would have never thought that I can be a reason why two families come together to share so much joy if Mom and Dad had not moved me from Hong Kong. As people began looking at the calendar and exchanging gifts, my sister came out of nowhere with a glass of whiskey. She was smelling like some bottle of pretty old scotch. She stood in front of everyone, and Grandma went to stand next to her as an anchor. It is as if she already knew that my sister was going to say something. "Can I have your attention, please? I must say that I'm so sad right now. Do you want to know why? Because my sister has been the center of attention our whole lives, and she still gets spoiled by everyone in the house. The only person who has ever spoiled me's Nana. Therefore, I want my sister's happiest day to be my happiest day. I'm happy to announce that I'm getting married. I can have the engagement party next week, so we can both get married on the same day. Aren't you all going to say congratulations?" What in the crap was that? I was thinking that she was just pulling a dirty prank on me, and everyone starts applauding, singing, and cheering and congratulating her. I tried by all means not to show how distressed I was, because my in-laws would label me as a selfish, spoiled brat. Because I've let Brian in. It was very easy for him to see how angry I was, and after my in-laws left, I walked up to Philia and said to her, "What do you think you're doing? This is my day. You can't just snatch it away like that." She stopped dancing and turned around to my face saying, "Not everything's about you, sister. Why are you angry? Are you scared that I'll steal your thunder? Because if you are, you should know that I already did. Your in-laws are probably thinking that you're nothing but a spoiled little aardvark. What are those tears I see? You can run to Mommy, but she can't do anything this time around." That's what she said to me, and I could not stand her stupid face, so I left to my room and cried my tears out like never before. She made me feel like she just announced her wedding on my birthday. None of us even knew that she was seeing somebody. That was a bombshell she dropped on all of us, and it did not only catch us off guard because it was my engagement, but because she was so lost in her ways that she could not have been seeing someone. I wonder if she's even getting married out of love, or if she's just trying to ruin my wedding day. All I want is my day to myself. Is that so much to ask for? How will I tell everyone that my biggest dream is to have a beach wedding? Nana makes the last decision, and if my sister says she does not want a beach wedding, then Nana's going to decide without even thinking twice. This is killing my thoughts. Do you all think I'm being a quote a-hole because I don't want to share my wedding day with my sister? What should I do to get my light back? 2 weeks later, update number 2. Well, I'm starting to doubt if Philia is even my sister at this point. She's had her engagement party last week, and it was way better than mine because Nana supported her fully. I've never been so disappointed in my sister before. I know that she's older than me and that she's old enough to know what she's doing, but have y'all seen that man she's marrying? I expected better from her. I honestly don't think she's marrying this dude out of love. Maybe she's desperate for what I have. I'm starting to think that maybe she just envies me. There's no way that she would want to get married to a man who looks 60 years of age. Mom and Dad were clearly not happy to see the man that she chose to marry, but they could not say anything because they did not want to be titled bad parents. Nana, on the other hand, oh boy, she's so happy that my sister's finally getting married to him, and he came here a few days ago and offered to take Nana out for shopping, and she has adored him even more. Apart from that, my sister took something away from me again that means the world to me. Mom promised that I would wear her wedding dress at my wedding. I was so happy when she told me that. I could not even wait for my wedding day to come, but a few days ago, I found out that her wedding dress was Nana's wedding dress. Philia walked in on Mom and I discussing the dress, and she starts complaining. Well,
actually demanding to get the dress instead.
She said that she wanted to have the dress because she's older than me. I was going to get married first, but my sister ruins everything for me, and now she's taking every little bit of happiness that I have left.
Well, let's get back to the story.
She caused a sin with her demands and complaints that the whole family ran into my mother's room to see what's going on.
She then starts shedding these crocodile tears.
And by now you all know what that does to Nana. As much as Nana truly loves Philia, she manipulates Nana like she's brainless. At times I feel like telling Nana, but she would just never believe me, because Philia is her favorite grandchild. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but it's overwhelming me. The anger I feel for my sister keeps rising, and I'm afraid I'll explode on the wrong person because of everything that's happening lately.
I can't take it.
It's just too much pain and stress. This is not how my last days as a single woman are supposed to be. Anyways, when Nana got into my mom's room, she found Philia, quote, crying. And I say quote because she could not even tell that Philia was just trying to get her attention. She asked why my sister was crying, and Philia said to her, I don't know why I'm treated like an outsider in this house. Mom wants Antonia to wear her wedding dress when I'm the older one. It doesn't sit well with me. I'm supposed to be the one to wear the dress because I'm the firstborn, but she said no, and she wants to chase me out of her room because I'm apparently annoying them. She continued to whimper as a way to add fuel to the fire. She wanted Nana to attack right away, and I personally almost fell for it. I've never actually thought of my sister as a two-faced freak. And it was at that moment I realized that she had clearly plotted everything just to ruin my wedding. One thing she does not know is that she's ruining her life by getting married to that guy. Grandma snatched the dress from Mom and said to her,
Don't forget that this is still my dress. I only gave it to you because you're my oldest daughter, and I want that tradition to continue. I can't have the smallest cub wearing my wedding dress, and besides, her husband does not suit to marry her in my dress. He's even way older than her, and she's too young to get married. It'll either be worn by Philia or by no one, and that's my decision. Well, I had no other chance or choice but to give up the dress to my sister. I ran out of that house as I could not bear the treatment. I was filled with sadness as I walked out in town. I called Brian to come and keep me company. I needed to talk to someone who understood me more than anyone, and that could only be Brian. He rushed to my location and took me out for a drink. I always feel safe around him. I still can't believe that my sister is making me go through all this pain. Well, I'll update you guys again because my wedding is less than 3 weeks away. I have a lot to prepare for. Update number 3, 5 days since the last post. Well, I broke it to my family that I want a beach wedding, and I have already bought the decoration and a few things. But I still need a lot of help setting it up. Everybody was amused to hear my dream, and I told them that we talked about it with Brian the night that Nana refused me to wear her dress. I was so happy to see that the family was happy for me. Well, at least half the family was happy. I walked into the dining room and I found everyone around the table for dinner. I smiled as my mother called me to sit next to her. I sat and said to everybody, I have something that I want to say to everybody. I don't know how I'm going to share my wedding day with my sister. One reason is that she has so many guests, and I was planning on having a very small party with loved ones and friends only. Secondly, I want a beach wedding. I found a perfect place to go, and all that's left is just to book it. I could see a fury burning in Nana's eyes,
but this time I was ready for anything they were going to say.
What do you mean by that? What do you always have to be so selfish for?
Philia is your sister, And you're not supposed to be selfish about everything. It's just a wedding. It's not like you have to move into the same house when you're married. You make a big deal out of very little things. You should grow up and learn from Philia. Nana said to me with bitterness. She said I should learn from my sister. Can you imagine the one person who's getting married to some old man just because she doesn't want to marry me off first? That's the person I should learn from? Nana should really think of her words carefully because that was a poor choice of wording, no? My sister is nothing of an example at all. I was ready to stand from the table, but I was also trying to hold back what I wanted to say to Nana. She said I was just being selfish for wanting a beach wedding so bad, and she also called my wedding, quote, just a wedding. I could no longer hold myself from saying what I wanted to say, and I, quote, tell me, Nana, when you got married, did you share your wedding day? Did you share your dress or anything with any of your siblings? I remember very well when you would always tell us stories about your wedding, and I don't remember one time you ever mentioning that you had to give up your mother's wedding dress to your envious sister who stole your happiest moment in life, did you? I said to Nana without any limitations in my voice at all, and she did not see it coming, I promise you that. Nana was making Philia feel superior to us, and she was now losing respect for our emotions, and someone had to set it straight. You little brat, are you talking to me like that? I had my own wedding because I was always respectful towards my elders, and I never talked to them just like you did right now. You have no idea what you've just done. You saw your husband after the engagement day, and now you're disrespecting your elders. You have just cursed your own marriage. I suggest that you call off the wedding before you regret it, dear. Besides, you and your little husband aren't able to afford a beach wedding. Keep dreaming because dreams are free. Well, that's what Nana said to me as she walked out on everybody. I could see that I had offended her pretty deeply. But all I did was take out my armor. I've been trying to be the best granddaughter for far too long, and she doesn't even see my worth. She thinks Philia has everything she needs in a granddaughter. I'm not saying that I'm happy with what I've said to her, but maybe she needed to hear it. Update number 4, 3 months later. Hey guys, it's been 3 months since my last post. I'm currently in my honeymoon. From the night I talked back to Nana, I've been feeling like a bad child which encouraged me to be that child. Because Nana had agreed to contribute money towards my sister's wedding and not mine. So I decided to plan my wedding on a beach. I knew that we could not afford such a wedding, but neither could my sister. I had to get away from her if I wanted my wedding to be successful. I could not afford to have a ruined wedding by my envious sister, and I had to do something. Brian had promised that he would do anything to have our wedding far from my sister. He suggested that we get a loan. It was a great idea to get away from her, and I agreed, and we got a loan together that we agreed to pay back as a married couple. It felt good knowing that I would share my problems with someone who actually cares and loves me for all my perks and all. I was very happy as we planned our wedding. Philia, on the other hand, was forced to plan her wedding elsewhere. I almost felt pity for her, but she didn't feel pity for me when she snatched Mom's wedding dress from me, did she? Or either when she turned my engagement day into her wedding announcement. So, why should I feel pity for her? Mom helped me get a new dress, and I felt love shopping for my wedding dress with my mother. Dad was stuck between attending my wedding and attending Philia's wedding. And, well, at least I knew that Mom was going to stick next to me through thick and thin. I was happy that I had someone to hold on to, and 3 days before the day arrived, I got ready to travel to our wedding venue with our loved ones as I walked through my door. Nana came to me and said that if I did not get up getting married on that island, I would never come back to the house. She was ready to cut all ties with me for choosing my happiness over everything. I smiled and said to her, "Well, I'm really sorry for what I said to you the other night, but I was just protecting myself. I don't want to be under Philia's shadow. It was my wedding day, and I chose when and where I want to have it. I'm sorry, Nana, but you made your choice to stand firmly with Philia. Now let me make my choice of making my dreams come true. I know I disappointed you, but you were never proud of me anyways. I hope that you find it in your heart to forgive me for ever talking back at you the way I did." My shoulder brushed against hers as I walked away from her. The day of the wedding finally arrived and Mom helped me get ready. The rest of my aunties that showed up to get ready too, and everyone was happy and we danced in the bridal room. Mom was legit happy with me and I felt so proud of myself. The ceremony was a success and a beautiful one too, and we later took wedding pictures. At the moment I felt a void because Dad was not there for my wedding. I asked Mom why he chose to attend Philia's wedding, if he just always complained about what kind of person she was turning into. And I quote, "Listen, my dear, as much as an apple can go bad, it's still from the apple tree, and we can't deny that. She's still our daughter, and it would be unfair if we both attend your wedding and leave her all alone. Your sister just needs someone to guide her into the right path, and it has to be one of her parents. We love you both very much, and we will always find a way to be there for both of you." I was so emotional because of that. Mom was getting me ready for motherhood anyways, and I know that the loan we took out for our wedding was totally worth it all. Because I had the wedding of my life. If only the whole family was there to share my happiness, though. Update number 5. Final update posted on OP's account 3 years after the last update. Hey guys, just thought I'd update one last time. My life's going smoothly as dreamed. My husband has gotten a very good promotion and we managed to pay off the debt pretty fast that we owed the bank for the wedding. We're living debt-free. Well, I love my life with Brian. Although I am happy with my married life, I'm very sad because my family separated and it's entirely my fault. See, Nana thinks that everyone who attended my wedding is a traitor, but she forgot that everyone made their choice of whose wedding they wanted to attend. Mom and Dad have been trying to get the family back together, but it seems it's going to take more than what they have. Nana said I'm not welcomed in the house anymore because I chose to have a beach wedding. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. I have some funny news for you all, though. I've just been told that my sister was trying to divorce her husband. I just knew that something was off with their love. It's not that I'm happy with what's going on in her marriage, no. But it is kind of a satisfaction to someone who lost her mother's wedding dress to someone who wants to end her wedding in only 3 years. My sister is used to going to parties without anyone asking her where she's going or where she's coming from. I knew she wasn't ready for marriage life anyway, so she made the days before my marriage an absolute living nightmare that I'll never forget. And now she will live in the torture of her life. Nana forced her to stop trying, so she said that she did not fight for her just to end up getting divorced. Nana's regretting ever thinking that getting her favorite grandchild married was a great idea, because it wasn't at all. But the least she could do now is threaten Philia to stay married to avoid embarrassing herself to the family. I know that my family will get back together. It does not matter how long it'll take, but now that Nana's disappointed in Philia, she will need all the help she can get to keep her married. She lost all belief she had in my sister. She really thought that she could get another great-grandchild from her, but she thought wrong. Talking of great-grandchildren, I just found out that I'm going to be a mother. And you know why I'm so excited? Because this child will be the reconciliation of my family. I can't wait to announce to everyone and see how they react. Brian has been the ideal son-in-law, and all he's done is love me and care about me. I can't express how grateful I am to him for everything that he's done for me in the last 3 years. He's added so much bright color to my life, and I can't express how happy that's made me. Do you think I'm an a-hole for having my wedding on a beach instead of having one wedding with my sister? That's about all I need to ask from you guys, and that's it from my side. No more updates. I'm just grateful that you stuck with me throughout my tough moments. Thank you.
So, I just want to go ahead and point this out. This is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That's totally cool. Just drop your thoughts in the comment section down below and let's talk about it. But I think Nana was downright the most treacherous person in this story because she was the enabler. She was the reason everybody was acting the way they were acting, allowing OP to never have a chance essentially because her older sister just had to have it her way. And well, with Nana the one in control, giving away the dress, paying for the wedding venues, and then ultimately cutting off the two sisters from even being able to talk to each other. And we saw at the end of the story, they're basically in no contact. So let me know, if it wasn't for this toxic Nana who wanted to separate the two sisters, do you think it would have played out the same? Drop your comments down below. Let's talk about this one. Guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed your first video. And I post every single day, so smash that subscribe button if you did enjoy it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you in the comment section. Peace.